Welcome to Crown and Connections with Rob Clemons. This is our special Carolina Country Music Fest edition. We're so excited. We've had so many big stars here. It is Friday, and this is a big day of the show because I am greeted by none other than Warrick McZeke, and he is going to be here to talk about what he's got going on in the show, talk about some of his successes in the industries. Not to set you up too strong for that, right? But my man is from Loris, South Carolina, so welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Man, it's good to have you here, man. It's crazy. So one thing that inspired me about you is that you are a local guy, and I know you take some South Carolina pride, so I definitely am excited about that. But if you would, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little backstory.
Yeah, I mean, pride is it, you know. I was talking to some friends yesterday, and they're like, man, you pump your hometown all the time. Your hometown is what makes you. So, like, I mean, the people, the family that's around, that's what made me. And so Loris is my hometown, and to be able to come back and participate in this festival year in and year out has just been a blessing for me. You know, I don't know what I've done to receive that accolade, but I know I don't take it lightly.
Yeah.
And so every opportunity to just get out there and be a part of the crowd and, you know, just show who I am and where I'm from, that's what it's about.
Man, that's super cool, man. When you come back to Loris and back to the area, you still have a lot of friends and family out here?
Yeah. Yeah. So home is home. Everybody's there. My mom is a product of 12. My dad's a product of 10.
Ooh.
So, yeah, you know. We have some babysitters for the kids this weekend.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. How many, do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, so I have a brother.
Okay.
And I have a stepbrother, half-brother, half-sister.
You know what's cool about that? It's like both your mom and your dad, they had a bunch of brothers and sisters. They're like, we're not going to do that to you. We'll keep it to one. Or
and that's what we decided to do. We have two little ones, and I think we want to stop right there.
No, I'm going to tell you, your little ones, my staff, the ladies especially, they thought your little ones were so cute. So well done.
You and your charmers. They're charmers.
They're charmers.
I need their hair. Clearly, I'm starting to recede. So, you know, if I could have their hair, that would be amazing.
Oh, man.
They're 5 stars. And from a music standpoint, you know, I look back through their eyes and I reflect back on me actually seeing myself doing the things that they're doing with me through my dad. You know, he was a musician in the genre of gospel music. Okay. And so, you know, I would mimic things that he would do, and I'm now seeing that in my oldest.
Yeah.
He'll be at practice, zoned in on the drums, zoned in on the guitar players, and the next thing you know, he's upstairs on his drums doing.
Are you serious?
Guitar strumming. Man. At 2.5, he'll be 3 at the end of the month. It's just so amazing to see that.
Dude, is your wife also musically inclined, or I mean, where?
You know, she is who allows me to get my history in country music. I'd say, like, she's big time into country music, and so when I'm learning covers to like cover during shows, she's like my teacher. She's whipping it out. That's not the word. That's not the word. I'm like, well, I'm not trying to be the same word. You know, I'm trying to just like embellish it a little bit, give it my own little spin. But no, you have to present it this way.
No, you got to do it.
All right, cool. That's cool.
Hey, isn't that part of the beauty of a good cover, though? You throw your little inflections in and stuff, right?
Like, I mean, I want that, and so you know, that's what we're hoping to achieve this weekend too, with some of the covers that we'll be doing.
Super cool.
But yeah, I mean, she definitely has a musical ear, and I mean, Miss Absolutely, the song that actually put me on the map.
Absolutely.
That came from she and I sitting at the table, banging out a song one night, and you know, she was my co-writer on that song.
Man, you know, and I wanted to go there because, you know, this was kind of like a little famous history of CCMF. A lot of people come here and they want to do special events. I mean, it's a special weekend. And so you had this little thing you did a few years back where you brought her up on stage. And this is actually how you proposed to her, right?
This is it, yeah. I mean, and ironically, this is the 5-year anniversary of it.
Whoa, okay.
So, yeah. The year the festival was created, 2015. Yeah. Bob Durkins, that puts it on, is a good friend of mine. And the year that was over, he came to Charleston. He was like, hey, your boy Lee is going to be playing in 2015 or 2017. So I just started dating Josie, and I'm like, hey, if I'm still dating her in 2 years, I'm going to ask Lee if I can jump on stage with him and propose. So, you know, I had to stay patient with that for 2 years and keep her patient and grounded with that. And as it would happen, I asked him the year leading up to that, and he was like, yeah, sure. And once he said, yeah, sure, I'm like, oh, shoot, I got to do this.
Man, I don't care who you are and how cool you are, and you're a cool guy, but you had to have a little nerves doing that.
It was crazy. So we did that on a Saturday. Friday night, Darius played at the same time slot as him on Saturday. So mentally, I'm like, okay, let me just get up there and see what it's going to look like. Saturday night at that time slot. And I looked out, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, oh boy.
Oh my gosh. And so when it happened, you know, the last thought that was on my mind before I hit the stage was don't trip over the gauge wire.
That's right.
You know?
You gotta start with the basics, man.
Gauge wire,
right.
And it all just went perfectly from there. Like, you know, I mean, it's a story made for the ages. You know?
It's an amazing story and way more romantic than my proposal to my wife, which we won't even talk about that today.
I'm sure yours is great.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah, don't ever talk to my wife; she'll laugh at you. But so here's the next thing. So when she said "I do," she didn't just say like, "Oh yes, I will."
Yeah.
She said,
she grabbed the mic. She said, "I will absolutely marry you." And you know, tears started flowing from people's face. I guess I'm like, hold it in more. You know, you're good. And yeah, and
the ladies back over here when you just said that, they were like, oh, you're telling them. I should have done that too. It would have been good for.
Yeah.
But and that's where the song "Miss Absolutely" came from.
Yeah, and kind of how that all began to develop after that was at that time music was not even a thing. You know, I'm a speech pathologist by background.
Okay.
So that's my 9 to 5 still.
Wow.
That's the job that pays for the music.
Right on.
Continue to do what it does. And so we were going to a buddy's wedding, and on our way back, we were listening to the radio, and there was a commercial that came on for Nash Next. It said, "Do you have what it takes to be Nashville's next big country music star?" And so I was like, oh, when I get back to work on Monday, I'll look it up and see what it is. I thought it would be something kind of like The Voice or something.
Yeah.
And that had not been the case. I got back to work on Monday. I forgot, but I got a text message from Josie with the link. And when I opened it up, and we didn't even talk about this. When we were driving, we both heard this commercial, but we didn't say anything. So I opened it up and I saw that the qualification said you had to have your own music, be your own band, blah, 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 blah. And I had none of those.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So I put it away. A month later, she's like, hey, did you ever do anything with that show that I sent to you? I said, well, you know, I don't have my own music. And so she went upstairs, I went upstairs, I got restless, she had fallen asleep. So I walked downstairs, and when I hit the last step, like as I tell the story, it's the reality. Like God spoke to me, and He said, you know, you should write a country music song.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, God. I'm looking around. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna write a country music song, like, what do I need? Like, what do country fans do? I'm like, oh, beer. Let me go get some beer.
You start with the basics. You got the beer and the
beer. Check. No, there was no beer in the refrigerator, so. I was like, all right, liquor cabinet. So I go and there's a little bit of Jack Daniels. I put it on the table. I get a glass, ball of ice, poured a little bit in there, and I wrote the word Miss Absolutely down, like out of the blue.
Wow.
And so like I started banging on the table. A melody came to head. I'm banging. She wakes up. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to write a song. The deadline is tomorrow to submit the song.
Oh, man.
And so we're banging on the table. We're calling her sister. I'm trying to come up with words. Lost. Her sister's trying to throw words. I'm like, it's not working out with you, sister. With your sister-in-law, because she's not like in the moment of what we were trying to accomplish. But we ended up finishing it that night, recording it on my iPhone, submitted it the next day to make sure that they had gotten it. I called the station. And when I called the station manager actually answered. He said, tell me a little bit about yourself and the song. Told him. A week later, they were playing my iPhone recording on the radio.
No way.
I was like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me?
Right?
And then 2 weeks later, they were asking me to open up for Trick Tomlinson.
My gosh, man. Do you even remember the lyrics at that point yet? You know,
I had to write them down myself.
Right.
So that's kind of how it all started. And from there, I put a band together at the last minute. And we ended up winning that competition at the regional level.
Man,
and
well
then
done.
Continue on for the nationals because small print said you should consult a lawyer.
Yeah.
So hired an entertainment lawyer to read through the contract, and he was like, so here's what this does. They can theoretically just take this song from you and you have no say in it. You should try to just get it recorded on your own and see what it does. And that's kind of what we begin to do. He was like, you can try to sell it off to somebody, you know, as a catchy tune. Or you can just try to record it. And so I tried to record it and put that out, and later on 4 more songs accompanied that, and put out my first EP.
Man, it's so cool, man. What a success story. You should be proud. And the coolest thing about it is, too, you look at the way you and your wife came together to make that happen, man. You sound like a heck of a team.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And we're still doing it, clearly. 2 kids, but we're done out the
Super cool, man. I love it. That's right. Now, you got songs that you can write about your kids. So you got all kinds of stuff going.
You know, that's the hardest one. You know, like when my son was first born, I'm like, oh, I'm going to knock a firstborn son out.
Right.
Still haven't done it yet.
Oh yeah, well.
But, you know, it'll come with time.
It probably happens organically, like put that toy back in the box. Oh, like that could be a song right there, right? No.
That toy back in the box.
So, let me grab the guitar, right? Hey, if that makes it, you guys heard it here first.
Yeah, you got it, Rob. Songwriting credits.
That's what I was doing. That's my gift. No. Well, listen, man. You know, one thing that you just did, and you're so good, and I found a lot of it as I talked to you guys, and not to lump everybody together, but the country music crowd, man, you guys are a good, like humble group, and just the way talking to you, you're such a natural guy. But you passed over something so fast a minute ago. I don't even know if the people caught it. You said my roommate Lee, you know, my college roommate Lee, and you know Lee's gonna do this. He's talking of none other than Lee Brice. So I mean, this guy's kind of a big deal, right?
Center's very own.
Right? Yeah. So I mean, it's really cool. But the fact that you guys were college roommates, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. Were you guys ever just like sitting back in there, just like you know, making magic?
I turned my housing application in late to Clemson.
Okay.
And what that afforded me was the opportunity not to live in Johnstone.
Oh, yeah.
Freshman dormitory.
Right.
So I got to stay at the Clemson house. Rest in peace, Clemson house. They just tore that down a year ago.
Man.
But I was paired with 3 guys that had already known each other, and here I come in, and one happened to be Lee Brice before he was Lee Brice. He was playing football. He had a guitar when I showed up. I bought a keyboard.
All right.
I still don't know how to play that keyboard. But, you know, he would play his guitar. He would go in the stairwell. People would come around and he'd play for them. And that's where my attraction to country music evolved a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, before, I just couldn't really find myself getting into that genre. Reba McEntire was kind of like who I knew as a staple piece for me. As a direction. One, she had that show Reba out at the time. So she was front and center for me. So that was association. But then Lee was a big Garth Brooks fan. So I started appreciating him. Diamond Rio was somebody else that I listened to a lot. And so all those bands I started taking notice to and like appreciating the genre even more. And he would leave that next semester and I had no idea what happened to him. 10 years later, I'm living in Charleston. I knew that he had hurt his knee, so I thought that he just like pulled out of school, what have you. But I'm living in Charleston 10 years later, and I get a phone call from a Nashville number, and they're like, "Hey, it's Lee." I'm like, "Lee." It's like, "Lee Brice, your old college roommate at Clemson." I'm like, "Oh, what's going on, man? What are you doing?"
Right?
It's like, "I'm playing a show at the Music Farm." And so he's like, "You should come out." So I go. I'm like, playing a show, Music Farm. All right, I know what the Music Farm is.
Right.
And I get there, the place is packed. He's there singing. I'm like, what in the hell, man? Like, what? When did this
what
all
happened? Right.
And so, you know, flash forward, he chased his dream after he got injured in football. You know, he'd gone to Nashville and never looked back.
Man. So cool, man. I need to check in with my old college roommates, see what they're up to. You know, I have a feeling they're not like famous or anything. But
you're famous, Rob. Yours are trying to look out for you right now.
I need to start calling my college roommate. Man. That's funny, man. Well, so a little bit of quick talk here. So we were talking beforehand about your Clemson allegiance. Now, of course, this is a dangerous territory because you know half the people are Clemson, half the people are South Carolina. You got a unique story.
Well, you know, you talk about that allegiance, you know, you talk about houses being divided. I grew up a Carolina fan. My brother was a Clemson fan, so we had the little helmets and things that you would have as kids to pretend to be football players back then. And so that's how I grew up until the day that I went to Clemson and I was in orientation and the guy was there, "Your blood is gonna bleed orange." And I'm like, yeah.
Is that what he sounded like, by the way?
I was like Mr. Dewey off of whatever it is, on the TV show.
Right.
Boy Meets World or whatever the show was.
Yeah. That was a good impression, too. Yeah.
Your blood is gonna bleed orange after you leave here, you know? And so I'm like, yeah, whatever. Next thing you know, national championship.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the timing was perfect.
Front and center, man. Front and center, you know. Everything Clemson, I love it. You know, football team, thankfully, is doing really well right now. Hopefully, baseball team can get it together here pretty soon. You know, they're looking for a new coach. Basketball team, you know, just tighten some things up.
Hey, it's all good, you know, and even and you know, to throw back the other stuff, USC looking pretty good this year too, you know. So I think it's going to be.
I mean, they're not going to do anything with the rivalry that's going on. No, but you know, it's good to see them do well and be hopeful for that November 26th date. You know?
Exactly. You know? Well, and two, you know, you being a local fella and all, you still got to pull for CCU a little bit too, right? We got some shots, maybe.
Yeah. So I actually consider myself an alumni.
Oh, okay.
Of CCU, you know, because guess what I learned at Clemson, the day that you take your first class, you're an alumni.
Oh,
So
okay.
I did a summer school at Coastal.
All
So,
right.
hey, I'm an alumnus.
He's a CCU.
I am a
Holy.
Chanticleer.
Hey, well, you know, Sean's up, baby.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, look, you know, you've been amazing to talk to today. What do you have coming up next? I mean, what's next for you and your?
Yeah, so, you know, we're finishing out this festival, and, you know, we're starting to throw some dates out on the calendar for June, July, moving through. Got some new music coming out. So we were hoping to get it out within the next 2 weeks. I think we're still on track for that. The song's going to be called Show Me the Girl. Best thing is that we're going to play that this weekend.
Nice.
And, you know, it's finally starting to come out of this, you know, pandemic. And we're still in it.
Yeah.
You know, we all still have to remain very cognizant of it. But, you know, just glad to finally be getting back to music.
Man, that's so cool. And you know, to see you coming out here and doing some music for us, some new music.
Yeah.
You'll be here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So
sure.
definitely looking forward to seeing that. And by the way, one other thing, this didn't slip my mind. So this is the 5-year anniversary with the. So you must have something. I'm wondering what you got up your sleeve. I know you can't tell me.
Hey,
but
Saturday night is going to be electric.
okay. Oh boy.
Today is going to be cool, but Saturday night at 8 o'clock, we're going to have a good time.
Hey, you know what? I got to tell you, Saturday is going to be a big day for us, too. We're giving out our, each year, we give out a Roof for Troops winner. So we take a veteran of the military, and we pick one, and we do a free roof for him. And this guy, he earned it, so we're excited. We're going to be announcing that at 5 o'clock on Saturday. So Saturday's a big day.
Hey, shouts
5
out
o'clock.
to all the veterans.
Yeah.
Like, they allow us to do what we're doing right now. Like,
absolutely.
That's near and dear to the heart. I am too much of a wuss to enroll in the military.
Hey, pick your gifts, baby.
Yeah,
pick your gifts, you know.
I think I would have took a hand off if, you know, they would have been enlisting people. You know?
Right.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Warrick, man, you've been so great to talk to. I wish you the best this weekend. We'll be cheering you on while you're going. And check him out tonight. Check him out the whole weekend. Warrick McZeke, appreciate
Rob,
you, buddy.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right.
Y'all take care.
And we'll see you guys next time on Crown of Connections.